G'day everyone, we're Krista and Tony, a couple of Australians that have taken a year off to travel the world. Starting our travels in America, we've rented a van for 60 days as we head up the west coast up to Canada. In this episode, we drive through Salt Lake City as we head to the Grand Tetons. While in Salt Lake City, we check out some dino fossils, take a detour to see an epic nearby waterfall, see some military planes, and then head north towards Idaho, where we swim in the naturally heated hot pools of lava hot springs. Then visit the nearby geyser of Soda Springs that shoots 100 feet in the air every hour. Now back to me struggling to keep up with traffic in a 2-ton van through Salt Lake City. As we left Arches National Park from the previous episode, we drove through Salt Lake City. There's actually heaps to do in Salt Lake City, like the giant salt flats nearby that you can drive on if you have a four-wheel drive, which we didn't, or Antelope Island, which is actually populated by bison, not antelope. But because we didn't have a four-wheel drive, we went straight for the nearby Dino Museum instead. And me being a geologist, I do love fossils and rocks. First stop on our way to Grand Tetons is to go via the Paleontology Museum and see some dinosaur fossils. Dinosaurs! Woo! This museum has one of the best collection of dino fossils and bones that I've ever seen, where you get a real understanding of how big and terrifying some of these giant reptiles would have been. You can even see real paleontologists at work at the back of the museum. Just try not to tap on the glass like I did.
Why'd you tap on the glass, Stephen?
After we recreated some scenes from Jurassic Park, we took the scenic route out of Salt Lake City via Provo Canyon Road. This road passes along the Provo River, which has over time carved out this epic canyon, which has an amazing waterfall and a slow-flowing river that is known for its fishing and tubing. The Sundance Ski Resort is also just next door if you're here during the winter. The next stop was Hill Aerospace Museum, which is an aeroplane graveyard of sorts, where we get to explore helicopters, fighter jets, and bombers that span America's Air Force history, covering World War II, Vietnam, and the Cold War, with more than 70 aircraft. There was everything from massive flying fortresses to supersonic jets. You could actually walk right up to them and underneath most of the planes, which was pretty cool. Once the museum closed at 4 p.m, we headed north up to Lava Hot Springs, which was about an hour and 40 minutes drive. The next day the weather was still pretty cold and rainy, perfect for the hot springs. We've just arrived in the town of Lava Hot Springs and we found this sneaky little campsite. The weather's a little bit crap, but this campsite's right on the river and it's perfect weather for hot springs, which is pretty cool. Not a bad campsite at all. This one's free as well. It's just like 5 minutes out of the town of Lava Hot Springs. And yeah, surrounded by these yellow fields. Grey sky, but you can't have it all. But perfect weather for hot springs tomorrow. So it turns out this camp spot's probably free because once every hour or so a train comes past and toots the horn for the crossing. So it's going to be interesting sleeping here tonight.
We have earplugs.
We've got earplugs. Today we are off to the hot springs and no bare butts. Is it really hot? That guy's underwater. It can't be that hot. Unless he's dead. These hot springs are naturally fed and heated by underground geothermal activity. At $10 per adult, it's definitely worth the visit. Oh my god, it's warm. And apparently in winter, the whole place is surrounded by snow. Oh my god, it's so hot. These hot pools, there's a top pool, which is super hot. It's like 38, 40 degrees Celsius, so like 103 Fahrenheit. And then the pools further down are a bit cooler, which is nice. Here's the other pools. Good? Is it? Now I've just stepped foot into Soda Springs, which is a little town which is renowned for this little geyser, a natural spring. Here it is. This geyser's actually capped and now it's set on a mechanical timer which goes off every hour on the hour, which is pretty incredible. I think it's the only captive geyser in the world. All the other ones are natural and just erupt randomly. So, pretty amazing. Apparently when they drilled here, they were drilling for water over 100 years ago for hot springs, and they broke into this geyser and they couldn't stop it, so they had to naturally cap it. Pretty incredible, huh? So it turns out it was 85 years ago, not 100, but the rest of the details were right. So why did we have to move the van to this location?
You got bamboozled. An old man.
No, we had to move the van because that geyser contains a lot of sulfuric acid, and if it lands on your car, it's not good for your paintwork, so we had to move. Also, don't worry, that water falling around us was rain, not sulfuric acid. So 5 minutes drive away was Octagon Springs.
Is it?
So here we are in Octagon Springs, which is just up the road from the geyser, and this is what everyone was raving about. Apparently it tastes like a beer from the natural carbonization process.
I don't know anything. Nothing. Do you like my shoes? Wait, I'm gonna show them my shoes. Oh.
You're a disgrace.
If you get amoebic meningitis, do not blame me. I don't think you should. It's a bit dodgy.
Hey, they raved about it 80 years ago. 100, can't remember.
Gross. Okay, can you not drink anymore?
It tastes like an old rusted tap.
Gross. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Put
See
it
that
back.
orange stuff? It's probably rust.
Oh, great. Alright.
That's not too bad.
You know you don't have to drink it yet.
It is carbonated though. I can taste the fizziness.
Okay.
This is naturally carbonated. So they used to bottle this, and it used to be the world's best carbonated stuff. And they used to bottle it 80 years ago, and it won at the Carbonation Fair in Paris in 1880 something. Maybe it was 1902. I think it was 1902.
Boring. I'm bored. I'm going.
And then there's the natural spring here. The water from these springs was actually sold all around the world when the bottling plant was built back in 1887. They even built this incredible hotel in town to accommodate all the visitors. But sadly this all came to an end with the onset of new technology to artificially inject carbon dioxide into water. And to make things worse, this hotel sadly burnt down in 1921. The good news is you can still taste it today at the spring. So if you ever visit, make sure you try it. So after tasting some ground fresh spring water, we continue to the town of Jackson, while stopping at a small campsite called Wolf Creek for the night. And it looks like we're in bear country.
Dead meat.
Today we are off to Jackson Hole. Hopefully it's not a hole, I've heard it's quite nice. And then we are off to the Grand Tetons. We're going to spend the next couple of nights here and then head to Yellowstone. So hopefully we don't get eaten by bears.
Hopefully we don't. But we didn't see any last night. We just saw a lot of squirrels and hummingbirds.
Yeah, it was like out of a Disney. Oh man. Not bad for a $10 campsite.
There's a hand crossing. Can you see it?
Look at his little tail. Thanks for watching this episode. Check out the next one when we finally get to the Grand Tetons, which has Krista seeing snow for the very first time, plus several amazing hikes, and we get a mouse in the van. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a like and follow, and we'll see you in the next one.